Welcome back, you guys. It's Natasha. We are here for the nitty gritty of parenting. I know these last couple episodes, we really have been diving in to the parenting aspect and the things that people typically don't want to talk about or they don't want to admit. But hey, this is the place, this is where it happens. I mean, I've gotten a lot of feedback as to how people connected and what they didn't expect me to say. So I'm really excited. I am really on board with just seeing how this all unfolds because, man, there's some parents out here really going through it. And as our kids get older, we really have to realize like, either I'm going to allow the world to teach you who you are, or you're going to adopt so much from our household, so much from me, so much from whomever the other parent is or parents are, that becomes who you are, or maybe you're just going to get a wild mix. And sometimes it's hard, like when you're looking at your kid and you're like, man, I've been raising you for such and such time, and you see them acting a certain way or they're looking a certain way, and you're like, I didn't teach you that. You know, I don't even act like that, or there's nobody in here that acts like that. Like, why are you acting like that? But then we got to think about it, man. You know how many hours these kids spend outside the house? When they go to school, they're there for a good bit of time. When they come home, I mean, if they're coming straight home, they might have a sport. They're doing sports things. They got their coach's personality. They got some of their teammates, personality traits. I mean, and then come home, it's dinner, maybe a little chit chat, some talking, catching up, shower, bed. Like there's so much that happens, and there's so much that they consume, and so much that they take in. It's hard to really like chop the different traits where we're like, nah, this is what I want you to have. Ignore this other stuff. And some of the time, it's not until we see it or we see them acting a certain way where we'll be like, no, I gotta correct that. Or, we ask ourselves, like, how can I approach that? I kind of need to talk to them about that. But you don't really want to be super pushy because they're trying to figure it out too. I really learned like they may be exhibiting traits and practicing habits that they don't even like. And they don't even know why they're doing it. They don't even know where they got it from. And so when I look at our kids and I see certain things that they do and I go, like I know a lot of y'all have done this. You go, you get that from your daddy. Oh, you definitely get that from your mom. Yeah. Oh, that's your grandmother. Or you go, that's my father-in-law. We all do that. We all do that. And so it's like we're so comfortable doing that. But I hit this moment with our kids where I said, yeah, you got that from me. I'm not feeling the greatest about that. And it felt weird for me to say it out loud. Like, you got that bad habit from me. You got that bad trait from me. You got that bad attitude from me. You got that. I mean, my kids didn't, I don't have a bad attitude. I'm just using that as an example. But I'm saying that it was weird to notice something that I didn't like that our kids did or how they acted. But I couldn't ignore the fact that it had this familiar twinge to it. It kind of felt like the apple didn't fall too far from the tree on that one. But I was like, dang, what do I even do about it? And I'm all thinking like, I gotta do this, to kind of guide that, or I gotta talk to them and be like, hey, that's not cool. That's not how you handle that frustration. That's not what you do. Or, hey, this is how. But then I was like, hold on, you over here creating a full-fledged plan for this child who is, however old, when you just said they learned it from you. They got it from you. And I'm like, well, and hey, I have conversations with myself because I reflect on me, I reflect on what I'm doing, I reflect on my success over the week. I have embraced reflection because I don't know, I feel like reflection allows you to take correction. Okay? But if you're not even okay with looking in the mirror, then you're not gonna everything somebody tells you, like, oh, that's not cool to do. You're gonna always be offended. You're gonna always feel like, why this person coming for me? Why they saying this? Why, I'm trying to. It just, it doesn't, it doesn't work together. So anyway, so I was like, man, you got this whole plan for her, and she learned it from you. So how about all those great ideas that you got to reshape her behavior or reshape his behavior or to correct his thinking or to correct the way he's talking? How about you start with the source? And they aren't the source. See, we be so quick to want to rear our kids up and raise them and do all this stuff, but we're teaching them to do the opposite. We're unfortunately raising them to be the most hypocritical individuals in their little world. Like, they're going to be so upset when they encounter people who are saying one thing out of their mouth but doing the other. Oh, my friend betrayed me. Oh, my my homeboy or my girlfriend or my boyfriend, they were saying this, but this is what they did. Well, it didn't just start there. It started with the hypocritical behavior at home. And I'll tell you what, sometimes there's that battle, when you're parenting with another person and you have been steadily trying to break, that generational thing, and the other person is they're just blatant with their I don't do you call them indiscretions? My vocabulary has been a little. I'm going to deal with that later. Don't you guys worry about that. But it's hard to teach when you and whoever the other parent is, you guys are supposed to be a united front. I don't care if you guys just argued from here to Timbuktu and back around the moon, hit the equator, came back up. It does not matter. When it comes to your kids, man, it is so hard to raise your kids if you and whoever you're having to raise them with are divided. If you can't agree on something, if they are just willing to just make it so hard in front of the kids, it just leads to nothing good. I'm telling you, because the kids are like, how are you telling me to do this? And y'all can't even make up your mind. Like, especially co-parenting relationships, because you may notice something that you imparted in this kid, and you're like, oh man, I didn't want you to catch on that. Like, I didn't even know you saw me. I didn't even know you heard me, you know? And so you're trying to fix it, trying to fix it, trying to fix it. But if you're co-parenting, so you send them either, this person is coming to visit them or they see them on weekends, whatever the dynamic is, right? And then you're trying to give them their space. You're trying to, just let them enjoy their time over there. You don't want to be, overbearing and asking all those questions and blah blah blah. But then when the kid comes back, it's like, who are you? Like what? Like you didn't went over there and picked up two different personalities. We can't have that. We can't have that. But you can't say that. You can't. The kid won't understand. Like are you trying to say that my dad or my mom is a bad person? Are you trying to say their personality? You know, it's immediately offensive because the forefront is not there. The in unison is not there. Now, if this kid got something from his or her friends, right? And they start exhibiting that behavior. If the parents or the co-parents or the whomever guardians are united front and they say, "Hey, this is what we've noticed. We are trying to understand what's going on with you." You know, it gives that sense of security, even though it may not seem like a big deal to us. But I really believe for a kid, it's a big deal. Like, hold on. Okay, I don't have to be one way with one parent, be one way with the other. They're actually saying they want the same thing. So once we fix this problem, we can just continue as such. Like, we don't have to be like, oh, well, your mom doesn't like this and that. But, I'm fine with the this, but not that. And then that kid is trying to remember, like, oh wait, I can do this over here. Okay, no, I can't do that. It it just makes it so difficult. And so I'm like, wow, this is really a big deal. Like I'm really seeing me in this kid. And sometimes it's really cute, right? We have those like, oh yeah, I used to love to do that. Yeah. And then sometimes it can be very, 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 very frustrating because you want to say, why would you do that? How, what sense did that make? Did you, did you consider the consequences? And, it's for me, it's that immediate reflection moment like, well, Natasha, did you think about the consequences before you did it when you were their age? You're grown now and you still do stuff without thinking of the consequences. So how can you talk to this individual whose brain isn't even fully developed and say you should be making better choices than me right now? That is the most bogus statement ever. Because first, you want to be my friend. You want to be all cool. And then when it doesn't fit your agenda, like what you view me as or what you want from me, as soon as I'm not doing that, you're upset. But I'm just doing the same thing you're doing. You know, it doesn't work. It is it doesn't work, guys. It doesn't work. And so we first have to start with ourselves. Like, man, okay, you kind of let them pick up on the habit. Why do you have that habit? You know what I'm saying? Why do you do that? Why do you scoff or why do you suck your teeth when people tell you something? Or it's like, oh, well, why do you roll your eyes? Or why do you, go this route? Why do you choose this? Why is your immediate reaction this? And our pastor calls it the digging and dunging, to really get into those roots, to really figure out why is it that we do what we do? Where did it stem from? Where did it come from? And a lot of times, once we figure that out, and then we go, there's really no need for me to hold on to any of that. And then you let it go, which would obviously, your actions would change because your mindset has changed. And then all of a sudden, you're not finding those problems in your kids anymore. All of a sudden, you find yourself thinking, it's been a minute since I had to talk to so and so about this. That's a little odd, and there's just a shift, but it starts, with us. Kids are more dependent on us than they want to seem. I know they get their independence and they're like, "Oh, I can tie my shoes, I can make me some food." I mean, that's fine and all, but they still are gathering things from us, they're still soaking in the things that are around them. So it's like, why not give them the chance to actually be the best that they can be? But that would mean that we would have to put down our selfishness. We would have to put down our egos and our pride, that say, well, just because I do it don't mean you can do it. That, when it comes to more moral issues, or when it comes to, um, what is a better word? We're just going to stick with moral issue for now. When it comes to the moral things, you really have to be solid on those, because that foundation is what's really going to guide them, like especially in the tough times. They're going to revert back to it. It's like muscle memory, you know and if I'm going to see me in you, I want it to be the things that will help guide you in life. I want it to be the things that will show you how to handle tough situations, how to handle temptation, how to handle, sadness and grief, or how to handle anger. Like, I want you to mimic those things that will help you. And so, if you are accidentally mimicking the things that I'm not exactly proud of you mimicking, then let me give you something else to mimic, okay? Maybe conversations aren't working anymore. Maybe grounding them isn't working anymore. Maybe spanking them, if that's what people do. And maybe you're trying to figure out another route. Maybe, just maybe, their change or their growth is predicated off of your change and your growth, because you don't know what seeds you're planting. You know what I'm saying? You could go from being an Alcoholics Anonymous and all of these other anonymouses because you hit rock bottom, you're dealing with things, nobody wants to acknowledge it. You halfway want to acknowledge it. They saw you going through that tough time. Now they started drinking or doing whatever they please, but then they see this sudden shift. This sudden shift. That's not saying, oh, you go to them, well, I'm getting clean now and I'm doing this now, so you should too. No, 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 because that's not how it was taught. You see what I'm saying? I think of it like love. You fall in love with something, you fall in love with somebody. There are things that keep you in love, right? There are things that add on to how much you love this thing or this person, whatever. And then there are also things that will push you to fall out of love with somebody, whether that's the personality or the arguments, or it's just not working out for the best of you two. And so, just like you can fall in love, you can fall out of love, just like you can fall in a habit, you can fall out of a habit. We are just creatures of habit. I actually wanted to look up where that saying came from because I heard it from somewhere, but I don't know if anybody claims rights to it. But anyhow, I just figured the same thing. Like, you learn this habit this way. Okay, through casually paying attention. So, how about I give you the grace to casually pay attention to me getting my stuff together? How about I allow you the grace to casually see me handling my emotions a completely different way? How about I let you see me exercise my faith daily? How about I give you that chance to do that? And sometimes we really don't want to do that. We are just like, hey, this is what's working for me now. I'm tired. I'm overworked. I'm sleepy. I got all this stuff going on. And you want me to give you grace right now? Yes. Yes. Every time. Because It may be inconvenient. It may be annoying. It may have you feeling like I done tried and tried and tried and tried and did all the tries I can try. Okay, this kid is not getting it. This kid ain't hearing me. This kid ain't seeing me. This kid don't want nothing to do with me. This kid ain't talking to me. This kid, and the list goes on. But I'm telling you, whatever it is, just switch it up. Try it for like a week, man. Try it for a couple of days, and watch whatever trait, whatever habit thing that you have imparted or taught, you know, this kid or these kids, all of a sudden it's gonna be different. And it's not like you need to be checking every day and being like, is today? Is today the day? Have they changed? Have they noticed me? Have they noticed that I changed my habits? Have they? It's okay. It's okay. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. But you have to give that grace because we had it. Whether or not, oh, I'm not religious, I'm not. You don't have to be religious to understand that you made some mistakes at some point in life that if it would have got even worse, you probably wouldn't even be here right now. Like that is called grace. Okay, that wasn't just a coincidence because you're not just here by coincidence. Neither are the people that you're assigned to look after. Like, you were you were born for a specific reason. There is a purpose in you. And once you find that, it'll help you help your children figure out what their purpose is. Most of these kids are out here giving themselves to the streets, giving themselves to each other. They're trying to put together their own being. Like they're trying to create their own, I guess, identity, for the lack of better words. And so it becomes like, well, I'm gonna have to, I'm gonna have to figure out something, you know? I'm gonna have to figure out something. And so that's why I'm like, well, just hold on, you know? Just hold on for a second. It's gonna be all good. Nothing's not. It's gonna be good. Like I, and I know it sounds weird to say, but I was gonna say I don't like giving false hope. But that's not what I mean. What I mean is everybody's different. Every person learns differently. Every person, what is that word? Processes things differently, and that's okay. Okay, it's just a matter of how consistent are you going to be in working on yourself. Like, how consistent are you going to be with changing your own habits, changing your own speech, changing what you listen to, changing where you go, changing what you see, changing how, it's all about that. If this child and the things that they are responding to or acting like is really getting to you, well, let's look in the mirror real quick. And some people are like, oh, well, I have never smoked in my life. I have never drank alcohol. I have never. I understand. That is commendable. That is amazing. But it doesn't help the kid or the child or the teen or the young adult, the grown adult, whichever, figure out, just we gotta we just got to be more intentional about ourselves. And see, and we always go off of, well, as long as I'm a decent person, I'm not out here stealing, killing, robbing, destroying, then it's cool. But what if it ain't? What if it's supposed to be deeper than that? What if we're supposed to look at ourselves? What if we're supposed to create the best version of them that they could be without passing down generational trauma, generational it like it could happen, and so as I'm sitting here and when I be talking to you guys, I be talking to myself too, okay? Because I be like, ooh, yeah, that's good. I'm gonna follow that advice, like, like, well, I'm the one talking, but for real though, I mean, there's just so much that we can do to help one another, and there's so much that we can do to help those that we are in charge of, to become the next generation, or they might already be adult children, and it's like, oh, there's not. No, it's okay. It's okay to be like, you know what? Mm-mm. I saw you do that, but I know I just did that. So let me move some things around. You know, let me make sure I'm available on this side. Let me, and so I just, sorry for that pause, y'all. That reflection time is just like, wow, man. Wow. We really have the opportunity to give them a second chance at, stability, at prosperity, at forgiveness. We have the chance to be like, let me pay attention to how you're moving, kiddo. Let me pay attention to how you're playing well with others. Because there might be some things that we need to change. But it's like I don't want them to just change in your life. Like I don't want you to just go from this to that. Like I want them to understand, like, yeah, we may have been doing things this way. Yeah, I may have said this, said that, or did this and did that. But I don't want you to do that, and let me tell you why. And then you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. Sometimes kids, teens, young adults, sometimes they need that PowerPoint, that goes, if Johnny had 5 apples and Susie said, I want an apple. And this whole Johnny gave her an apple. So how many apples does Johnny have left? Like, sometimes I be needing that kind of explanation. Like, no, no, no. I need you to simplify it. You know, if I need you to simplify it, then what do the kids need? You know what I mean? Like, it's okay to get creative. It's okay to, as people say, get on their level. Because if that's how they understand, if that's the way that they learn, then okay, help them. Like, it doesn't matter if our generation left us in the dark, if our generation was like, you'll figure it out, you'll be all right. We don't have to do that. There are resources, there are opportunities that we have with our kids that generations before us wouldn't have taken. Okay? They could have seen us upset, bothered, and everything under the sun, and they were like, so you're just gonna have attitude. But you don't have an attitude. You know, you are frustrated. You are trying or wanting to express yourself, but you're like, I might do this and get in trouble. It's not worth it because I could be trying to explain how I feel, and then somebody's gonna be like, "Oh, this is what you." I don't, and I don't want our kids to get fed up like that. I don't want them to be like out the gate, something happens. Nope, I'm not talking to you. Like, dang, no, 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 don't do that. That would make me so sad. Like, talk to me, talk to me. And so, guys, we gotta start talking to our kids. One, because 9 times out of 10, they already doing something that we was doing or something they saw us doing. It's just, oh, that's just what it is, folks. That's just what it is. But we gotta start talking to them. We gotta start digging. We gotta start being like, hey, uh, Yeah, I was tending to do that, but look, I gotta change this up because we can't be, just in the same position for the rest of our lives. We can't be stuck like this. Like we gotta grow. We gotta. And so it's like, okay, mom's on this new thing. Okay, she's actually wanting to talk to me. What? Or dad's on this. Yes, yes, random pop-ups. Come to school. All of those things will help you direct the things that you would like for them to exhibit. It I believe it really would. Because if you have already been in that reflection phase and you're seeing that they're doing what you've done and you're looking in the mirror and so you're like, okay, I gotta change this. I gotta change my heart, I gotta change my mind, I gotta change my posture. So he look, I'm looking at this y'all y'all know in the last episode I was telling y'all about how my brain go here, 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 here. So but anyway, see that whole train of thought? I don't even know what happened. I hope y'all got the message out of that. But y'all seriously, because this is the raw me. Like this is just me, and as a parent, like just like how that whole train of thought is gone, you gotta keep going. You gotta keep going, okay? And something deep down in my big toe tells me I was on a roll. I was on a roll with whatever I was saying, and I saw something. I got distracted, boy, just like a kid, just like a kid. And so, see, when my kids, they're focused, they're in, they're going, they tell me a story, they going, they going, they going, and then all of a sudden they turn left real fast, and I'll be like, "What? Hello? Do you not remember what you were just talking about?" And they're like, "No." And I can't be mad. But the generation before me would have been mad. Like, you sitting here wasting all my time. I was sitting here talking. It's like, oh, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. But when my kids do it now, I'll be like, nah. Whew, you got that from me. I'm sorry. That's why I take notes. Okay. Maybe that's what I'll do on the next podcast, y'all. Because I'm pretty sure I didn't jump from, I don't know how many subjects on this here episode alone. So I think maybe we're gonna try the notes. The note. What am I gotta find a special word for it. Maybe I'm gonna call it the note project. No, the call it the focus notes. I kinda like that. The focus notes. I kinda like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do. But anyway, y'all, look, I really, really enjoyed talking to y'all. I really enjoyed just dropping some nuggets, just making it relatable. Like, hey, it's all good. It's all good if you didn't get it right with the first time, second time. It's all good, man. Everybody out here trying and truly it's the same parenting thing. We still want them to have the same morals, same ethic. Most of us do. Most. I'll say almost all. There's some questionable ones, but that's okay. We all really want them to succeed. And so I really, really hope that we start succeeding as a people, okay? That we're okay with looking in the mirror saying, you know what? I want to succeed so bad, it's worth me changing. I want to I want to succeed so badly that giving up my habits, giving up my yeah, it's all easy. It's a piece of cake. Ideally, will it be a piece of cake? Mm, y'all know. Nah, it ain't. But with community, with prayer, with intentionalness. Now, y'all, it's pretty late over here, okay? So my vocabulary just sounds a little. It's pretty late on my side of the earth, okay? And y'all, see, y'all. let me go ahead and get off here. Thank y'all for joining. Thank y'all for having fun with me. Thank y'all for tuning in. I can't wait to see y'all in the next one.